And we're live. Welcome to the K-Gun Show, episode 3, I believe, November 3rd,
Yes, sir.
2024. Chad's a legend. He's got good bets, so let's listen. Go ahead,
We had
Chad.
a good week last week, right? We were on Gesicki. We were on. Everybody came through except for Sterling Shepard last week, who kind
Yeah.
of banged up his hamstring. Guy just can't stay healthy. So this week, a couple things we're looking at. Interested to see Jordan Addison in Minnesota. He's been complaining about his role. He's kind of having some team issues. We saw this a couple weeks ago with Romeo Dobbs. Actually got suspended, kind of a squeaky wheel thing. Uh, I think they got to get Addison going. So I'm sprinkling a little bit of his over 40.5 receiving yards. And he's also got plus money over 3.5 catches. He hasn't hit that yet this year, but I just think they got to get him going. Interesting in this Vikings game as well. Cam Robinson is taking over at left tackle for Darisaw. He's playing on 2 games or 2 days with the team. He only practiced Thursday, Friday. He just got into town. Hopefully, he can keep Darnold from getting killed. Also in this game, they're playing the Colts. I think Josh Downs. Everybody's going nuts over Josh Downs. He's been great. Flacco's clearly an upgrade. So Downs and Pittman are viable, but I just don't. I don't want to ride them this week if I don't have to. I think they're kind of more flexes than smash spots because I just think Minnesota's D under Flores. They're due. They've lost 2 straight games. I don't know. I hope Joe can stay mobile enough to stay alive this game. I think Minnesota's coming after them, so I don't like the Colts so much this week. I am on Odunze though for the Bears. I think it's Rome Odunze season here, Chicago. We talked about last week. He has a bad matchup against the Commanders with too high safety, and he still had a decent game. They manufactured him touches. He even got 2 carries. This week he gets a good matchup against Arizona. So I think it's way too low. I'm smashing his over 38.5 receiving yards for Romo Dunze. Clearly getting him going after the bye. We love to see it.
Found him.
There we are. Let's go to Elijah Moore here. We hit last week on Tillman, looking good. Elijah Moore, though, was actually also very good. They both, he and Tillman each had, I think, more than 8 targets. And he's been a PPR machine, Elijah Moore, finally getting the ball. So we're hammering his over 3.5 receptions. I also took the over 3.5 for Tillman. Tough matchup, but really like Elijah Moore. That's way too low. Let's go to Lad McConkey. A couple things in Los Angeles. I'm actually on the under this week for Lad McConkey. His line's at 54.5. This is the first week we have a full complement of Chargers players. So Chark is going to play. We talked about him last week. I think he's going to actually, with his LSU pedigree, he's been a great pro. I think he's going to end up being the wide receiver one in this offense. You're also getting Quentin Johnson back. You're also getting Josh Palmer and now Hayden Hurst. So I think Lag McConkey is actually going to get a decrease, and I'm hammering the under this week.
We are short
Just
Lad
wanted to
McConkey.
point out Keon Coleman. Sorry, what's that?
I said we are short Lad McConkey.
Short Lad McConkey, absolutely. I think it's got out of control on that. Just want to point out that Keon Coleman's been awesome. There was no lines for him this week on FanDuel. Just want everybody to know. Clearly, Amari Cooper has unlocked Keon Coleman. He's actually looked really good. I was critical, but I like what I'm seeing. Amazing ball skills here and big time catches from Keon Coleman. Let's go to Jalen Coker here. If you're desperate in a
Nope.
PPR league, we can use Jalen Coker this week. His only problem is that Bryce Young is his quarterback. But out of Holy Cross, undrafted guy, he's got a lot of skills. He's big kid. Really like the player, just hate Bryce Young. But I am going to take a chance on his over 36.5 receiving yards this week. There's just not anything going on in Carolina. They're going to be behind. They got to throw at somebody. They got rid of Deontay. It's Coker season over there. And Parker Washington for the Jags. Another spot for the wide receiver needy. You can spot start him if you have to because, somebody's got to catch the ball other than Evan Ingram here in Jacksonville. I think Brian Thomas will play, but Parker Washington will probably take that slot role. He's got some talent out of Penn State. It's an ugly matchup against the Eagles. I think the Eagles will pound the ball, control the clock. I think this is a low-scoring game. If you're super desperate, you can roll with Parker Washington. I think this is a Chase Brown week. Chase Brown's in a smash spot. Zach Moss is out, and it's the Raiders. So I'm over 68 rushing yards on Chase Brown, and I think he finds the end zone this week.
Shout out Chase Brown too. He's from Canada. A lot of honor up in Canada.
Canada, yeah, and he's home of the Fighting Illini here, so
He
hometown
kind of
kid.
looks like Trent South, sort of. There's some
Does
Trent
he?
South features there. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll let you know.
Okay, good stuff. Let's go to Julius Chestnut in Tennessee. Pollard is gonna go, but we're just keeping an eye on Julius Chestnut. I don't know if this guy's got game or not. He's out of Sacred Heart. Not
Been around
not a
for
lot
years.
of Yeah, not a lot of people have seen him play. Really, I think he's 2 or 3 years in the league. Um, Pollard's going to give it a go, but he's looking kind of shaky. He's been banged up, and Spears is out. There's no lines for Julius Chestnut. We're just kind of keeping an eye. Maybe he could emerge and get some work down the stretch here. Pollard hasn't exactly been amazing.
Great name
For the
too.
Saints, sorry.
Great name.
Oh yeah, for the Saints, Taysom Hill week. It's Taysom Hill week. Derek Carr is back. Kendre Miller and Jamal Williams are both out. In fact, Kendre Miller's back on IR. I think the guy played a game and a half. Just can't stay healthy. So we're going to get a lot of Taysom Hill this week. I thought his receiving line is way too low. So I'm smashing the over 11.5 receiving yards for Taysom Hill. They're going to move him all over. They're going to get Olave going again. Saints have been bad without Carr. Very welcome sight to see Carr back in the lineup. Also for the Panthers, a lot of people are going nuts over Jonathan Brooks. He's not going to go this week. He'll go next week. Just wanted to say that down the stretch, I think he is a stash you want, but we're still 2-3 weeks away from this guy getting a decent workload for the Panthers. Panthers aren't very good at running the ball anyway, but they are. I can see down the stretch these last 4 weeks there. He's got great league winning weeks 14 to 17. I think we will see a heavy workload from Jonathan Brooks, but just don't go crazy. It's going to be a little bit. I'm also on the over in the Seattle versus Rams game. Neither of these teams play defense. You just don't do it. Stafford looks awesome. He's got Kupp and Nakua back. DK Metcalf is out. If he was in, I think this line would easily be in the 50s. It's at 48 when I took it on DraftKings. I love the over 48. Neither of these teams going to play D. Another note on the Ravens. Obviously, we talked about Deontay Johnson got moved. I think this whole Ravens wide receiving core is a mess. The Ravens are going to play amazing ball as a unit, but all of them get devalued now. I really don't feel good about any Ravens. He's going to eat into Flowers. He'll be on a limited snap count this week. We still got Likely and Andrews eating into each other. We also have the running back coming back behind Henry.
I can't think of his name, but he catches the ball a lot.
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell. Sorry,
There you
Keaton
go.
Mitchell's actually going to get work back in there. They still have Ali. So just a crowded Ravens attack. So I don't know that you can trust any of these guys. I'm kind of fading them all. I'm also think that in this game, though, Baltimore smashes. I'm fading the Broncos this week. They have looked better. Everybody's kind of like, maybe Bo Nix is a guy. Thank you, Keaton Mitchell. Yes. Fading Bo Nix this week. I think he finally has a blow-up game. It looks like a rookie on the road at Baltimore. Baltimore's D's been bad. I think they show up at home this week.
Yeah.
Fade the Broncos. And then our notes from Thursday night. Clearly, the Jets are not dead yet. Rodgers finally got it going. This is clearly a two-man show with Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. There's nobody else viable here other than obviously two running backs, Allen and Breece Hall. So very, very limited tree in Jets world. Go ahead and drop Conklin. Go ahead and drop Lazard. Anybody else you got? Maybe the Jets aren't dead. We'll see if Rodgers can get hot. And that's about it, man, for this week.
I just wanted to shout out. Unfortunately, the gravy train came to an end. Marshall did not cover the spread this past weekend for the first time this
Uh,
year.
that is.
Um, I don't know what's going to happen next week. I'll be looking ahead at the line. I have a feeling we're going to drop the spread a couple times in a row here until they get it tuned back in. They might have actually finally figured out the Thundering Herd.
That's
So other than
sad,
that,
man.
though,
They had
um,
one epic run going, Marshall.
I think it
Shout
was
out to
7-0
Marshall.
and 1 against the spread this year. So
Fantastic.
I don't know, but
So smash spots of the week though is Romo Dunze over and Elijah Moore over 3.5 receptions. I love that. I parlayed that. I think that's the smash of the week.
yeah, I got $10 in my DraftKings account. I gotta spend, so I'll text you after this. Get me something to play with.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I appreciate you for joining us on the K Gun Show. We're here every
Good luck to
Sunday.
everybody.
It's the best 10 minutes ish that you can watch before the football starts. Shout out Bueller and who else was in the comments? And Minifan Moments. Do you have any favorites for ATTDs today? What does that mean? Attempted
Anytime
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Anytime
Yeah.
touchdowns. Any favorites?
I love Chase Brown. Love
Okay.
Chase Brown this week. I also think Brian Robinson probably gets into the house this
Okay.
week. I think again, Addison. You might sprinkle that one. Don't parlay that one, but squeaky wheel with the Addison thing. And I love the Taysom Hill anytime touchdown this week, rushing
Okay.
or receiving. He's going to get one.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Sunday with another.